I created G-plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello and welcome to another nutrition masterclass. My name is Savannah. I am so glad you've joined me today. Glad to see you. We have a really interesting topic to discuss today. We're going to be talking about endocrine disruptors, what they are, how they can affect your hormones and your health overall, and some ways that you can reduce your overall exposure to endocrine disruptors. So we're going to get started here in just a minute, but as a reminder, please feel free throughout our presentation. If you do have any questions come up, please feel free to go ahead and add those in the chat box. As well, I'll also be sharing my email. So please also feel free, if you have a question, maybe that's more personal or something you'd like to reach out to me for, please don't hesitate to do that. I would love to get back to you. So also at the end of our presentation today, I'm going to be discussing a great promotion. So definitely stay tuned for that today as well. So we're going to jump on in. All right. All right. So how to reduce your exposure to endocrine disruptors. All right. So today, first, we're going to be discussing specifically what are endocrine disruptors. Next, we're going to go into how do endocrine disrupting chemicals affect your health. We're going to go into some examples, some common examples that you might see, and how to reduce your exposure to these endocrine disruptors. At the very end there, I'm going to have my tip of the week, and then we'll finish it off with our weekly promotion. All right. So do want to remind you, of course, my email is here on the screen, and then will also be in the chat box for you. So I will be taking questions at the end of our presentation, but feel free to go ahead and send me an email if you'd prefer to reach out that way. All right, so first, what are endocrine disruptors? An endocrine disruptor is any chemical that interferes with the body's endocrine system. If we are exposed to too many endocrine disruptors, it can lead to hormonal imbalance. Endocrine disruptors can affect the body in three main ways. They may block the pathway between a natural hormone and a receptor. They may act directly on a gland, causing it to make too much or too little of a hormone. Or they may mimic a hormone, causing the body to overreact or react at the wrong time. So, long story short, endocrine disruptors almost mimic hormones in our body and then can affect our hormonal balance overall. Our hormones play a huge role in our overall health and our ability to lose and maintain weight loss. So being aware of endocrine disruptors is very important. All right, so how can endocrine disruptors affect your health? There are many different endocrine disrupting chemicals, and their effects do vary. Endocrine disrupting chemicals can cause issues such as respiratory problems, metabolic issues, diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular problems. Researchers are currently still studying the effects of many endocrine disrupting chemicals, but research can be pretty challenging due to how many of these chemicals that there are and how many that we're exposed to even on a daily basis at any given time. DES is an example of an endocrine disrupting chemical. It was a drug that was used to be prescribed to pregnant women to prevent miscarriage. Research later confirms that DES is an endocrine disrupting chemical strongly linked to an increased risk of cancer and is no longer commonly used. So again, sometimes the research on these can be a little bit tricky due to how many there are and how much we're exposed to, but definitely going to benefit your health, reducing your exposure as best you can. So with that being said, the important thing to keep in mind with endocrine disruptors is that it would be near impossible to completely eliminate exposure to these chemicals. However, due to research that has linked endocrine disrupting chemicals to many negative health effects, reducing your overall exposure is a great idea to benefit your health. Let me know though. So are you aware of some of these chemicals? Is there anything that you currently do to help reduce your exposure? Please share with me in the chat box. I'd love to see what you do already. All right. So this is by no means an exhaustive list of chemicals today. These are going to be some more common endocrine disrupting chemicals that you may see on a day-to-day basis. First of all, BPA. It's one we've definitely heard of. BPA is found in food storage containers, plastics, and receipts. BPA imitates the sex hormone estrogen. One study found that 93% of Americans do have BPA in their bodies. So, very common one. Dioxins. Certain manufacturing processes create dioxins. Sources can be non-organic produce and bleached paper products. They are carcinogenic and can affect the immune and reproductive systems. PFAS, commonly found in nonstick coatings like cooking pans. PFAS have been linked to increased risks of some cancers, reproductive problems, a lower immune system, and many more issues as well. So you'll see in the image on the right there, so one common label you may see when looking at pans, cookware, is the PFAS-free label. A great way to avoid those also is to stick to more stainless steel and cast iron pans primarily. Phthalates, so found in plastics, fragrances, and cosmetics. Phthalates can cause thyroid irregularities, affect fertility, and more. And the last one we'll be discussing today is triclosan. This is an antibacterial, and common sources are personal care products like body wash. They can affect the thyroid and increase risk of some cancers. All right, so how to reduce your exposure. So these are going to be some good tips to help you, again, reduce your overall exposure to these chemicals. It's in no way going to cut them all out entirely, and that might be almost impossible these days. They are everywhere. So these are going to be some great guidelines to help you cut down on your exposure. First off, limit your use of plastic overall. Stick to using glass or food-grade stainless steel water bottles and containers to store your leftover food. Another great option there is, rather than purchasing, say, plastic water bottles, go ahead and get yourself a reusable stainless steel water canister and refill your water at home. Look for skincare and cleaning products that are free of parabens, phthalates, and other endocrine disruptors, or also make your own. So there's a lot of great products out there that are very conscious to endocrine disrupting chemicals. But I will say some of them can be, of course, a little bit pricier as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be. So there's a lot of great recipes, do-it-yourself items that you can make your own shampoos, lotions, deodorants at home and using very natural ingredients. Next is, like I mentioned already, avoid cooking with nonstick pans that contain PFAS and instead opt for stainless steel, ceramic, or cast iron pans. Buy organic produce when possible. Follow the environmental working guide's Dirty Dozen list. This is something I've discussed before in some of my earlier presentations. This is a great way to help let yourself be aware of what foods maybe you should prioritize to purchase organically. The Dirty Dozen list is reproduced every year, and the Environmental Working Group will let you know which 12 foods are generally best to purchase organic, and they'll usually also tell you the clean 15, so a few foods that are totally fine to purchase conventionally grown, and you don't necessarily have to purchase organically. Last up is definitely filtering your water. Filter your water using an activated carbon filter like Brita or Pure, or even better, if you can use reverse osmosis, that's fantastic. I use Zero water filter. They're great. They take out a ton of things. So definitely starting with a good quality water filter is an excellent way to cut down on your exposure to some of these chemicals. Okay, and so we've made it to my tip of the week. So with us being at the start of a new year, here at the end of this week, you may be hearing about a lot of diet and detox gimmicks. It's the time of year you'll see that. Detoxes and cleanses are often promoted as a way to jumpstart weight loss or to even reset your body. Now, no, the best way to detox is to simply focus on eating whole foods and staying on track with your routine. The truth is that detoxes, cleanses, and very restrictive diets can do more harm than good. While you might find that you lose weight, and it might happen maybe kind of rapidly, this is often due primarily just to a drop in water weight. In addition, juice cleanses and plans that promote fasting can cause you to lose muscle mass and also slow down your metabolism. So rather than kind of going back and forth, following something super extreme to kind of get back on track, reset yourself, you do not need to do that. Focus as best you can on prioritizing those whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, a balanced diet, and eating consistently. So ease back into your routine. I know this can be a tough couple of weeks throughout the holidays. You might feel a little bit off track with your day-to-day usual habits. Focus on setting small goals to help getting yourself back on track. That's the best way to help prioritize your health, lose weight, and maintain it long term. All right, and so we made it to our special promotion today. We do still have this great promotion running. So for a 15-minute nutritional consultation, it's only $4.99 at this time. So this is not going to last too much longer. We want to do this, of course, throughout the new year. So great time to talk with a nutritionist, discuss your goals, and we love to give you some extra guidance, extra support, and answer any questions that you may have when it comes to nutrition. So be sure to check your email after this call today, and that will provide you more information on how to take advantage of this promotion. All right. And so this is the end of our presentation today. So please feel free at this time. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to add those in the chat box. And as a reminder, of course, too, you can definitely feel free, alternatively, to send me an email, reach out anytime. So if you're watching this video again later, feel free to send me an email if you have a question about this. No time is too late. I'd love to get back to you on that. So, all right, Tracy, I was glad to see you were tuning in today. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this presentation did answer any questions you may have. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your year and a great new year at the end of this week. I hope you'll be joining me again next week. So for another nutrition masterclass. Next week, kind of extending what we discussed today, we're still going to be on the discussion of hormones. So next week, we're going to discuss nutrition and your hormones, and how focusing on various aspects of your nutrition and ensuring that you're eating a balanced diet is going to support your hormones and your health overall. So I hope you will join me then, and I hope you have a great rest of your week and stay warm.